the best advice I have ever received came from Marlene Pennison, who was one of my mentors at school.
Which was NYU?
Yeah, I went to NYU Tisch, and she taught the program that became part of my ethos in life, which was called known as CAL, which stood for Creating Original Work. So that was like my first taste at devising and creation, and she was like from like the Judson Church era of dance theater artists, and the assignment of the class for the semester was to be interesting on stage for 10 minutes. And so through that process and through problem solving your way into that 10 minutes, you learn your technique and you learn what your process is ultimately going to be. And the big piece of advice she always gave through that process was make the problem the solution. And it's like it's just what I do. Whenever someone comes with an interesting problem, I'm like, okay, let's solve it.
We have had to live by that. Sometimes one feels like one has to live by that a little bit more than one would like. But I do think it's a very worthwhile ideology, and it's because oftentimes young people especially get knocked back on their heels whenever something comes along that is a problem. And what I've seen more often than not here at Burning Coal is that when that happens, what's next is going to be better. Maybe because it forces you to think even harder about the issue or something like that.
Don't go to anybody, or don't listen to anyone's criticism that you wouldn't go to for advice.
Okay.
It's all wrapped up probably in always be learning, always be curious and learning, and especially in the theater world, learning to do something else, learning, be as versatile as you possibly can be. Those are the performers and directors that I admire the most, are the ones that are transformative. I think it's an amazing thing to be able to do one thing and do it well, which is the way the world's going right now. I work also in the medical field, doing medical acting and standardized patient work and training there, and that's everyone's going to specialties. But in my mind, to stay involved in theater and to do it as a living, as I've been lucky enough to do for my whole adult life, has required just this idea of being able to do anything you're asked to be able to do. Jump in, try it, go for it, learn something new, learn how to do something new. And again, my favorite thing about theater, period, is that you constantly have to learn. Every play, you're having to do some historical research, you're having to learn, if nothing else, even if it takes place in the current times, I have to learn what that person's perspective is and be able to, and if you're a director, as you know, not only that person, but each character that's in the play, wonder what their perspective is and how does their relationship go together. And so having to learn other people's point of views on things, that curiosity serves you well, I think.
Right, you learn new characters, but also new communities. That's very true.
Man, that's hard. I've had so many, but I think the key that don't be afraid to fail as an actor or as an artist in any way. Is fail big, and because you learn as much from failure as you do from success. And I think if you focus only on success and perfection, you limit yourself to the possibilities of other things.
Suzanne?
I would say, don't wait to get picked. If you're not doing what it is you really want to do and no one's tapping you on the shoulder saying, hey, come on, come play with us, do it yourself. If whatever you can, find friends who are like-minded and get together and do it with them, or write your own thing or whatever. I mean, look at us. We started our theater company. Got tired of waiting to get picked.
And look at the world now, like TikTok and all of those things. It's all content creation. It's people they're doing that's everybody's doing that.
But even if you look at the big theaters, the ones we were all waiting to get picked by, like the Guthrie was created by three guys from New York who decided they wanted to start a theater somewhere.
Right.
They happen to have
$7
million.
Exactly.
That's right. They were together.
I think it's what I tell my young people, that as contrary to popular belief, theater is not a competitive sport. That if you are just authentically you and you do the best you can on any given day, when it's your turn, you will find success. Whether that's a show, whether that's in life, whether that's, finding the great parking spot like I did today.
Oh, yes.
You know what I mean? Just authentically be yourself and make wise choices along the way. Our lives are just a series of choices. Should I turn right? Should I turn left? And just be yourself, follow your gut instinct, use your intellect, and you'll end up being a success, whether that is monetarily or spiritually. But you will end up somewhere,
And you can't fault anyone else if it's your decision, right? So
Sure.
So you can live with it.
Right.
You can live with your decisions.
Right, because ultimately you go to bed at night, you have to look yourself in the mirror when you're brushing your teeth, and if you can say, I did a decent job
did it
today.
my way.
I did it my way.
To coin a phrase.
It was a good day.
Well, it has probably morphed. I've received so much incredible advice. I guess what sticks out as soon as you ask that, when I took this job, left my life as a casting director and moved into being an artistic director, it was told to me, suggested to me to question everything. And I love it. I love it because if you do it with grace, it's not questioning to offend. It's just with a new eye, question everything. And it also, I love feeling like an eternal student. And that was said to me, even my early days back at school, the acting training. Always feel like a student, never stop learning. We're here. The first words that were told to me on the first day at Carnegie Mellon, I wrote them down. The words were, we're not here to teach you how to act. We're here to teach you how to learn. And I love that. And so question everything to me falls right into that category.
And as a director, that's an easy thing to think about and do. Well, maybe it's not so easy because some directors don't, but certainly your long history. I remember a production of Our Town that you directed years ago at Theater in the Park. Do you
Yes,
remember this?
yes, very, very well.
Very revelatory production. Very
thank you.
eye-opening show.